Yeah, I am. This call may be recorded for quality control.
Yes, I'd like information on a child custody case. Crimes are being committed to keep me away, sabotage my parental rights.
Okay. Is there a custody order in place that you would like to modify or enforce?
Yes, there's crimes being committed. I'm sorry, what was your name?
My name is Mary.
Okay, yes, to sabotage my rights as a parent, and I want to know how you guys can help. First off, there's multiple parties committing crimes for interference with child custody, and that is a felony. So what do you do? How do I report that and get that investigated so those parties involved can get their charges?
So we don't assist with prosecuting people who committed crimes. If you need a family attorney to assist with enforcing a child custody order or creating a child custody order, if there isn't one, we have family attorneys for that, but we don't assist with prosecuting or anything.
Oh, well, what was weird is I had this nice lady I spoke with on the phone at work. She told me that she was with the state, which is odd. And I said that I experienced a lot of weird things that people wouldn't believe. But if I was monitored and they pull back the call, they can see that this nice lady was explaining to me that the only way that I can get that investigated is if I hired my own attorney. The police wouldn't help and nobody else would help, that I would have to take that up with an attorney, which I thought was pretty odd. But I was actually at work taking calls and help assisting this lady, and she just let it slip that she was an investigator for child abuse. So I do experience a lot of unbelievable things that people wouldn't believe. So I just have to keep a lot of this chaos I experienced under wraps. I felt really hurt because it gave me, I felt that there was no hope because all these crimes that I was reporting, and she validated that the only way that I could get assistance is to get an attorney, because the police or no one else would investigate this at work. I talk to I'm very friendly with a lot of the people I talk to, and I'm routinely monitored, and they would probably see that. But anyway, so you're a law firm, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're telling me as a law firm, you can't help me with trying to do something regarding the interference with child custody crimes, and I don't have access to my child out of corruption?
We don't specialize in that legal matter. We do specialize if you're trying to modify custody orders or child support orders, but not for prosecuting crimes.
Well, not exactly prosecuting, but a crime was actually being committed for child custody. So how do I report that and get my child custody right? See, what's going on is multiple parties that people wouldn't believe are covering up for the crime. So no one on this planet will investigate it, period. And multiple parties, and even parties at work, are covering for it. So what I'm trying to figure out is, how am I going to get my child custody rights established back if no one will investigate the crime, including the attorneys that I'm trying to pay?
If you need assistance with family law, establishing a custody order or modifying one, we can assist.
Isn't that valuable information to know that they were lying and committing crimes for me to get my custody rights back? Isn't that pertinent information? How could you possibly assist if we cannot establish the fact that they lied to get the child custody, which is criminal?
That's something, we don't assist with that legal matter. We only assist with
Ma'am, you're an attorney, because no attorney will help with it, period. So I cannot pay you to be honest and put in there that multiple parties made false statements for me to get my child custody rights in the modification. You don't think as an attorney that would be pertinent for you to establish the fact that they lied to get the child custody rights? You don't think that I need to inform you of that as an attorney for legal representation?
I'm actually not an attorney, so I wouldn't be able to give you any legal advice or answer any of those legal questions. All I can tell you is that we only have family attorneys. They assist with the family court matters, but anything else related to crimes or prosecuting crimes.
Not prosecuting crimes, ma'am. I just would like to be able to tell an attorney that they made false statements to a family court, which is criminal. And I'm surprised, as a family law firm, like all the law firms I've been calling for years that have been covering up for all the crimes I experienced, you have to see it to believe it. Have no clue even in person. So I'm just not understanding. I'm sorry. So,
What?
as paying you for to be a law firm, okay? You don't think that?
Consultation for?
I'm sorry. I keep getting scheduled consultations, and people just keep covering for the crimes, which is unbelievable. So I'm calling to get information now. The nice lady on the phone told me that the only way to get this resolved was through an attorney, and I've been trying to do so for years and have been unsuccessful. So you're telling me, as a law firm, how do I report the crime then? If you guys want to assist me and put that in the modification, don't you think that would be pertinent to know that they did make false statements, multiple parties, in the modification?
That's something the attorney will have to answer during the consultation. Like I said, I'm not qualified to answer that.
That's what multiple parties say, and I don't get my calls returned. I think someone has way too much power to abuse, but you got to see it to believe it. So this is a law firm. So can you tell me you do modification? So in the modification, you will assist with that. So I would have to pay you for the modification, but you're saying that you don't want to put in there that the party made false statements. And as a law firm that helped with modifications, you never came into contact with someone that committed crimes to sabotage someone's parental rights. So you wouldn't know what to do if that happened?
Like I said, I'm not the attorney, so...
Ma'am, I've been going through this for years, ma'am. Years. You have to see it to believe it. So as a law firm, I have called you, and you don't know what to do if another parent, this is what you do for a living, a law firm, you have no idea what to do if a parent has committed crimes to keep that child away from the other parent. And then initially you said...
I'm not an attorney or a paralegal.
Okay, initially you stated that all you can do is assist with the modification, but you can't do anything regarding the false statements that were made to a family court. You did say that initially.
Prosecute that. Yeah.
I'm not, I mean, how can you possibly properly do a modification if you won't put the evidence that they made false statements to a family court? That would be pertinent, vital information. But I've been going through this years, man. Random call. I don't understand why I've been calling law firms for years that keep covering up for my crimes and the crimes that I experienced in my life, as well as a party at work that I didn't know. Because how sick would that be for someone to fake a call at work and then have them enlisted to cover for crimes? You got to see it to believe it. But if a call was pulled, you can see that I spoke with someone at work that was covering for crimes. She told me she was a youth investigator. Ma'am, I keep setting appointments with if multiple people, too many people are covering up for these crimes. I don't know what to do, ma'am. I've been calling attorneys for years, and they all have been covering up for the crimes, in person and over the phone. I haven't been getting anything resolved. So I don't know what to do if everywhere I go, they're covering up for this chaos, even at work on the phone.
Yeah, I understand your frustration. That's all I can assist with if you would like to schedule an appointment with a family attorney.
Okay, what's your position there?
I'm a legal intake specialist.
So you're a legal intake specialist, and if someone made false statements to a family court to sabotage someone's rights as a parent, you don't help with that. All you do is the modification. And don't you think that that would be pertinent information for the modification?
I'm not qualified.
You're not qualified to say it. Okay, ma'am, thanks. Let's see what other scammer we can talk to. Thanks, ma'am.
Its partners may record
They don't return my calls.
for quality and research purposes.
This has been going on
Subject to our
years,
privacy
so
policies.
they haven't
This
returned
call
my
is not
calls for
confidential.
years. I almost shed a tear after talking to that lady at work. Yes. I have this. I looked up your information. I see that you're family law for custody issues. Okay, I have a parent that made false statements and multiple parties are conspiring together in a scheme to violate my civil rights. Okay. So I'm looking to hire an attorney to get my rights and wanting to know what consequences, how do I get these parties, the interference with child custody crimes, what would we do, because that's a felony.
So you want to speak to an attorney about a child custody case?
Are you a legal advocate? Because I've been calling years, and the attorneys don't call me back, ma'am. So I don't know why legal advocates deprive me of any information. So you're a legal advocate. So what can be done if these?
I'm only an assistant. I can't give legal advice.
You can't get legal information at a law firm? What's your
I
name?
cannot give legal
What's your
advice.
name?
The attorney can.
What's your
but
name?
I can't.
What's your name?
My name's Elsie.
Okay, so I've called the law firm, and you don't want me to know who I report interferes with child custody crimes or how you guys could advocate and assist.
I didn't say that. I just said I cannot. I can't. Someone else in our office can, but I cannot because I'm not an attorney, so I cannot advise you of anything.
Okay, it used to be legal representatives didn't mind giving you information, but since I've been going through this, they all withhold any information and then never call me back for years, ma'am. So is there anyone, let me guess, they're out. Everyone's out. Is that correct?
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd like to speak with someone.
I can ask someone if they're able to talk to you.
They're out, ma'am. Okay, go ahead. I can give you my information. They're out. They've been out for years.
Ma'am, you didn't understand anything I just said. I said, what is your name so I can ask one of our attorneys if they are available to speak to you? Because I'm not sure.
They're out, ma'am, but I can give you my information. They're out. Would you like the information? Why do you need my information to ask them if they can speak with me? Can't you just put me on hold and get them on the line?
I'll need your name so I can ask them, so I can give them your information.
Okay, this Kiana.
They're available.
Kiana, they're not available, ma'am. They're not available, Kiana. They haven't been available for years and in person.
Have you ever called our law firm?
I don't think so, ma'am.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see if my attorney's off the phone.
He's out. You got to see it to believe it. But I knew I was surrounded by way too many people. Just sit in the jail. Why would inmates interrupt me having friendships in jail? Multiple times. I had my foster arrestor in the teens. Then if they weren't putting me in isolation, they had inmates guarding me. Sometimes they didn't want to do that. So then they just put me in isolation, in schemes and out of corruption. They were so corrupt they denied rec, which is a crime. You just can't deprive someone from rec. They did not care. Deprive me of my right to go to court.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm transferring you over to Marcella. She's one of our attorneys here.
Okay. It's a scam. Let's see how this goes. Hello. I wanted some information on interference with child custody crimes. The multiple parties are conspiring to sabotage my rights as a parent. And I wanted help to get my child custody rights back and get on what we can pursue to get these people the consequences they deserve for that felony.
Okay. What's your first name?
It's Kiana. Keyaana.
Last name Clark?
Yes.
And you're at 469.
That's correct.
You already have a case open?
I'm sorry?
Do you already have a case open?
No, I've been deprived of information for years. Can we talk about how you guys can help represent me for the situation I experienced? What are my options with your law firm?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do need to know some information just to let you know the retainer is $5,000.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, where are you residing?
I'm sorry?
Where do you live?
Well, here's the thing. I'm kind of pressed for time, and multiple parties have been playing games covering for the crimes I experienced. You have to see it to believe it. So I did ask you if multiple parties were committing crimes to interrupt my child custody rights, which is a felony. How can you guys assist? And the only reason why I'm just kind of pressed for time and want to go ahead and go over this because I've been doing this for years, getting nowhere. You have to see it to believe it, ma'am. I even went in person. I'm undergoing some conspiracy to violate civil rights crimes that the government is abusing power and enticing multiple parties to violate my rights. But anyway, so how do we...
Right. But I need to know where you reside, like what county. If you don't even reside in the county that I can help you in.
I'm sorry, it is a county. That's confidential. I want to know how you can assist. And that I looked it up. You are local to my location. I just want to know how you can assist, ma'am. I'm pressed for time.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, where do your children live? How many children are involved?
One, I pressed for time, ma'am. How can you? I thought that you would want to have a client, and you wouldn't deprive that client of information on what you could do.
I need information to be able to assist you.
Okay, so you can't talk to me. You can't answer my question. What information do you need, ma'am? I gave you my name and other information, and you're unwilling to tell me any information on my experience.
I need to know where your child resides. What county?
Okay, where are you located?
Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
So the child resides in Dallas?
Yes.
And when you say multiple ones are interfering with your custody rights, who are you referring to?
Okay, so false statements were made. First off, when false statements are made, what do you do? Who investigates interference with child custody crimes?
Well, you can bring those up to the court. That's correct.
Who investigates that, ma'am?
You would have to make a criminal report. Have you made a criminal?
Okay, so who do you make the criminal report to? Okay, so the police investigates the criminal interference with child custody crimes.
I'm not going to tell you that they will, but that's who you make the report to. They're the ones who decide whether they want to investigate or not.
Okay, because the kind lady that I spoke with at work, and the call can be pulled for monitoring, said that she was an investigator, and the police don't investigate that. That call almost made me shed tears. So she told me that the only person that could help me was an attorney, and now the attorney is reporting me over to the police.
No, I'm asking, did you make the number?
I'm trying to I'm pressed for time. So you're telling me to contact the police?
No, I need to be able to get some information. You're just sort of giving me vague statements.
I don't know, ma'am, why everyone I call, you have to see it to believe it. It's a simple question on the first, ma'am. Before I pay you, that's quite a bit of money. And some people...
I know, that's why I'm trying to get some more information.
Well, ma'am, we're deflecting. This has been going on years, ma'am. I just want a little information to see how you guys can help for that $5,000 that you're requesting. So with the interference with child custody, ma'am, are you trying to sabotage the representation? Because this isn't professional. So with the interference of child custody, ma'am, who do I report that to? I want to make sure that you have the credentials. If you're not aware of who I report this to, why would I pay $5,000? So the interference with child...
I'm asking you, has anyone violated the court order?
Yes, that's interference with child custody. So I'd like to know who would we report this to if I pay you the $5,000?
This would be a motion before the court. That's what I'm trying to get more information.
Okay, and then you said it was for the attorney. I mean, you said it was for the police they would have to decide if they're going to report that or investigate it. Now it has changed.
Ma'am, I'm just trying to get some information. You're saying that
I just don't want to be repetitively scammed and conned, ma'am. So first you said that
we're really not getting anywhere. I can't help you if you don't answer my question.
Ma'am, this is not professional. I did call, and I'm trying to get down to the interference with child custody because you're requesting a lot of money just for retainer. And some people have asked me to pay $400 or $500 for the consultations when they used to be free. So I don't appreciate. I mean, you don't know my life, but I speak with a lot of scammers that cover for crimes and try to scam me out of funds. But it's hard. Okay, well, I'm trying to get me information too before I get my personal information out, ma'am. I just want to make sure you have credentials.
Then I can't help you if I'm a licensed attorney. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, so
like if you want my credentials, but I'm not.
You're a licensed attorney, but you don't know who I report interference with child custody crimes to.
But in order to me being able to help you.
I just want to know, ma'am, I want to make sure that before I get my personal information out, that you can tell me who investigates interference with child custody crimes.
I can't
I don't know why you gaslight me, a complete random stranger, like they did the chaos I experienced at work, ma'am. You got to see it to believe it. So are you telling me that you don't want me to know who investigates the interference with child custody before I pay the $5,000? That's a great deal of money.
I'm not asking you to pay $5,000. I'm not asking you to pay $5,000.
I don't know why you deprived me of that education, ma'am. Okay, what do you need to know before you tell me who investigates the interference with child custody crimes?
Have a great day. Thank you.
It's a scam, I told you. I've been going through it years. But here's the thing. They can pull the call. Why would someone pretend to be an investigator at work and then cover for crimes? You got to see it to believe it. Third Law Firm.
McClure Law Group, how may I help you?
Yes, I have some questions about interference with child custody. I am having issues with my custodial rights as a parent. There are multiple parties, way too many, enlisted in sabotaging my rights as a parent.
Okay. Are you looking to obtain an attorney?
Well, I wanted to know my options first, how your law firm can help. What exactly can you do? I'm sorry, what was your name?
Sorry?
Well, may I have your name?
Oh, Hannah.
Hannah. Okay, thank you. So, for the interference with child custody, how exactly, because multiple parties have made false statements to sabotage my rights as a parent, which is a felony. So I wanted to know how you can help me get my child custody rights back, and also get these people the charges they deserve, the felony. How do we do that? How exactly do you do that?
Okay, I can transfer you to one of our paralegals who can better assist you in answering your questions.
Okay, you don't have the answer to that? I've been trying to find it years, ma'am, and no one is willing to tell me or assist me in this. But okay, I can get transferred to the paralegal. They're not available, are they?
They are.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
So I
new.
just
Okay.
transfer you to them.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see how this works. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Just one moment.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
They're scammers. Years of this. They'll start an argument, create havoc to not get anything resolved. And then even in person, waste my time in person.
Our team at McClure Law Group is talented, driven, and compassionate.
But wow, did the call? So I had a call at work, and I'm known to be really friendly with customers. And she let me know that she was a youth investigator, and I was like, oh, okay. And I told a little bit about my experience. I said I really can't talk a lot. I'm at work. She said basically I just have to get an attorney. There's nothing that I can do. Please don't investigate that. Yes. You're a paralegal?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm interested in getting representation from you guys. I had a lot of parties enlisted in interference with child custody crimes, which I know is a felony. And I'm interested in getting my parental rights back because multiple parties made false statements to intervene in my legal rights as a parent. Constitutional rights I should have as a parent. So I'm wanting to know what you guys can do to assist, and exactly what can I do to get them the felonies for interference with child custody crimes.
Okay, which county are you located in?
I'm in Dallas.
Dallas. Okay, so for us, that process would start with a 1-hour consultation with one of our partners.
I just want to know first, because for years I haven't been getting, before I do spend my time on this 1-hour consultation, who do you report? I want to make sure that you guys have the credentials. Who do you report the interference with child custody crimes to?
So I am not an attorney. I'm not able to give
You're a paralegal and you don't know?
I'm not allowed to give you legal advice. We are licensed by the state board. We have several attorneys who are board certified in family law.
Okay, so you don't want me to know how you can assist me with getting the people the consequences for interference with child custody rights? You don't want me to know that?
I'm not able to walk you through that process.
Who do you report it to? Do you report it to the police? Do you report it to the judge? Do you report it to attorney? Who do you report? Who investigates interference with child custody?
I believe you would file that in family court, ma'am, but it would depend on the details of your case and whether criminal acts had also taken place.
I've told you that multiple party interference with child custody is a crime, right?
That is usually decided in family court.
So if interference with child custody is a crime is decided in family court, you don't know if that's a crime that's investigated, interference with child custody?
It is investigated by the family court.
So is interference with child custody a criminal act or not?
So it depends on how it is tried and what exactly has taken place. It is a violation of custody orders, yes, but those are prosecuted prosecuted by the family court.
Okay, so now I heard that it was prosecuted by an attorney from the lady at work. Then I heard it was prosecuted by the police investigated, and now it's prosecuted by the family court investigates it. I've heard 3 different stories within 2 hours, and the investigator was wrong. The other party I spoke with was wrong when she said the police. Now you're saying it's the court's responsibility to investigate the interference with child custody and press charges and get that investigated. The court does that, interference with child custody?
You would file an enforcement.
I did. They covered for it. I filed an enforcement October in 2018, and the court covered for it and deprived me of my right to go to court. I've already informed them. Then they concocted, when they didn't follow through with that in 2018, they concocted that another party took my child custody rights in 2019, and I don't even know why. They didn't do a CPS investigation. Everyone I have come in contact, including churches, have covered for it, and social workers. So multiple parties have gotten caught in a lot of lies. This is a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, but all they do is entice people to not give me legal representation. They don't. Have me talk to scammers all day that cover for crimes. No one would ever believe it, so you get away with it. But appear at my cell phone provider, have them call the police when I want the real services that I'm calling for. They showed up prior in the beginning, interrupted me during my arrest for trying to report the crimes they set up on my phone. You got to see, no one would believe it. You get away with it for years. People don't even know that exists. So as for interference with child custody, you're saying only the court can prosecute those parties for the felony they're committing.
That is how our firm, we are not litigators, we are solely a family law firm. So the only place we would file that is the family court.
Okay, so the family court, you would file that with the family court, and then the family court would prosecute those parties and get them the interference with child custody. Okay, so that's who you report the crime to, is the court, and those are the only parties that investigate it.
Yes.
Okay, making false statements too. So what if I reported it to the court and they're covering for it?
I'm sorry, what do you mean covered for it?
If I reported the crimes to the court, I get people deflect, ma'am. If the court covered for it, who is above them? Who do I report government officials committing crimes to? Who investigates that?
That would be a criminal matter. I don't have knowledge about what the criminal process would look like.
Okay, so you're a law firm, and there is interference with child custody crimes. And you're a law firm, and you for family law and custody, and you don't know how to get consequences for someone that breaks the law and does not own up to their responsibility for custody agreements, and that's what you do? It doesn't have to be prosecuted. How do you refer it? If there's a party with custody issues that are not abiding by the rights for custody, you don't know how to get consequences for that individual that's not abiding by the custody agreement in your law firm, and you represent people with that for that situation?
Attorney about that matter.
I'm sorry?
You would need to speak with an attorney about that matter.
Okay, so now, before, the attorneys were never available for years and had to call me back, and now you have concocted that you don't have that simple information, and I still have to wait for an attorney after I waited 30 minutes for multiple different parties to scam and scheme to deprive me of any information, and then when I see them in person, they still scam. But you got to see it to believe it. So, okay, let's see if this attorney calls me back, ma'am. When they call me back, they still cover for the crimes and are dishonest. So, okay, let's go ahead and get this attorney. Let's see how this goes. Years of this? Years. Okay, ma'am, now what's next?
You would need to set up a 1-hour consultation with one of our attorneys.
Okay, how much is that, ma'am?
Depending on which attorney you meet with, it would be between $425 and $695.
They will commit the crime and charge if you're stupid enough to pay it. So $600 to get the education of the attorney can even help. Because I'm trying to see if they can help me, assist me with prosecuting these people for the crime, will help me get assistance for these interference with child custody crimes. You help with the child custody issues, but I have to pay $600 to see if you can assist.
That is correct.
So I pay the $600 to see if you can assist, and if they can't assist, are you going to give me the $600 back?
No, that is an hour of the attorney's time.
Okay, ma'am. So I think what I would need to do is get the people the consequences. Hacking a phone network is a crime. Guarding someone and conspiracy to violate civil rights is a criminal offense. Going to the degree to have a scammer stage a call at work is sick. But that shows that a party that's controlling too many people has a massive amount of power they can abuse and has a big problem. Okay, ma'am, thank you.